What smells good but shouldn't? In SFW.
A fish and chips shop burnt down as couple blocks from work a few years ago. The whole neighborhood smelled amazing for days. Just the slight hint of French fries. Nothing overpowering. It was so awesome. Until I found out someone was trapped in the fire and died.
Went for me to off real quick.
Read a memoir written by a forensic examiner a few years back, and the day he came into work and thought, oh, that smells delicious, who brought in barbecue? And the answer was the coroner.
Maybe it was not the fries.
The water from the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Bromine.
And that fake cannon smoke from the pirate ships.
The fog from laser tag places smells like marshmallows.
Wow, you all are really bringing me back to my childhood with such cool sensory details, thank you.
This is one of my favorite scents of all time, and Disney is very aware that people enjoy it. Evidently it's a lot harder to recreate than just adding bromine to water.
Disney takes their smells more serious than other companies take themselves as a whole. Their attention to detail is insane.
Tires. From bikes or cars. When you enter a shop with bicycles from one end to the other.
I used to deliver auto parts, and I love the smell of a garage, tires and oil and whatnot all together.
There's a chicken wing restaurant near my house that has a challenge sauce called Black Widow. The owner claims it to be around 500,000 Scovilles. A few years back some buddies and I decided to try them. The sauce was a dark molasses color and smelled almost like a barbecue sauce, no hint of the danger that lurked at all. We each grabbed one wing and it went terribly. I don't know how something so spicy could smell so innocent.
Birds have a poor sense of smell and basically no sense of taste, so if the pepper smells a bit sweeter to attract birds, but it's fire to anything else that might eat it, it will accomplish its goals for the seeds to end up in bird poop and dropped somewhere where it could grow peacefully.
Matches/candles on a birthday cake. I remember lighting matches as a kid purely to blow them out and inhale that sweet match-y smell.
The smell inflatable things give off. I have no idea how to describe it, but it's nostalgic to me.
Opening a new beach ball is just a-okay.
Sometimes I go to the beach just to huff beach balls. I could do this from home, but you need the aesthetic.
It's that plastic smell. New baby dolls have it too. What type of drivers can F write off?
I used to drive an ambulance. Those that don't know to get out of the way are the worst kind of people, man. I'm talking about sirens blaring and there's clearly open space. I was an EMT for many years. I once had a car that was obvious to us being behind them. Siren blow and lights going nothing. I finally picked up the PA microphone and said, I hope it's your mother, we are trying to go help. Nope, they didn't respond to that either. We called in the license plate number and they got a ticket. This was a backcountry ambulance on mountain roads.
I'm glad you reported them. It infuriates me when people think they're too important to move out of the way of an ambulance/fire truck. I literally go on the sidewalk and I would run a red carefully to let one pass. Not only that, but people who wait until the ambulance is right up on them before they move over. Think from the perspective of the driver. The further ahead of you is clear, the more confidently you can go faster knowing that it's safe. Yeah, it's good to move out the way early, but I'm sure a lot of people just aren't aware or genuinely think it's fine.
Right? I honestly am shocked it was just a ticket. Knowingly stalling an ambulance should be a suspension, or a misdemeanor charge.
I don't know about the rest of the world, but not long ago there was a thread on Legal Advice UK where somebody asked if they would be getting a fine for running a red light when the police, with the lights and sirens going off behind them, urged them to do so. Apparently blue light drivers are never supposed to force the public to commit traffic infractions. If the way is clear, they themselves may run red lights, but never force somebody else to do so.
If I'm at risk of a fine, I will still do it, and if the police decides to fine me and give points, I will take it to court and explain the situation. However, I highly doubt any police would do that unless they're total douches.
In my country, people who drive expensive pickup trucks and their entitlement is massive. I'm here. Get out of the way. As they pass you, while going over a speed bump. Yes, I'm parking in the handicapped space. So what? Parking behind you at the supermarket so you can't get out while their friend runs into the store for just a few things. She will be back in just a minute. And, of course, the ever-popular, taking up 2 spaces in every parking lot.
Oh, the road bullies? Hate them, too.
The idiots who miss the exit and instead of driving an extra 5 to 15 minutes decide it's best to full turn and make an attempt for an exit no matter how hard it'll be to make it. Sigh.
It's crazy how people seem to not realize some stuff is. 15 minutes isn't worth risking the lives of yourself and everyone around you.
Anyone who isn't me.
Everyone driving slower than you is an A, everyone driving faster is an idiot. Smile.
Alright, George Carlin.
True. Though sometimes I think to myself I am that A.
People with those really bright LED headlights.
I always want to flash my high beams at them, but I can never tell if they have their high beams on or not, so I don't want to accidentally be an A. But at the same time I can't effing see.
And if you're mistaken and they flash you their brights in response, RIP your retinas.
This always reminds me of the "that wasn't full auto, this is full auto" clip.
What rules were put in place because of you?
No sign language during silent lunch punishment. My lunch period was so loud we got put on silent lunch for over a month straight. I decided the only clear solution was to teach my entire table sign language so we could still talk without getting in trouble. Apparently it was unfair to the kids who didn't know how to sign, so we had to stop.
That seems like something your school should have encouraged.
You seem to forget that it's a school. They're not supposed to teach you anything. /s.
No. You're not supposed to learn anything outside the obligatory curriculum.
They can't reward ingenuity. Imagine where that sort of thing could lead to.
Agreed. Inventive, creative, educational.
Uber expense with drinks for clients at my work. Years ago we took a bunch of clients out and everyone had way too much to drink, so I ordered everyone Ubers home. Turned in the expense report to our account manager, just under $400 in Ubers, and she had no clue what an Uber was. I explained to my bosses that we expense drinks for clients, why not expense Ubers? Now if we pay for drinks for clients we also pay for Ubers.
This is worded suspiciously wholesome. Did they make it so if you expense drinks on the company card then you also expense Uber on the company card? Because if so, that's awesome.
That's really smart, considerate, and responsible of you. Nice work.
I will be a lawyer in 3 weeks, just waiting for the robing ceremony, and I would absolutely recommend this as a corporate policy. If you pay for drinks, pay for Ubers/taxis/ etc. Am I saying that I think in my jurisdiction a corporation would have a duty of care to their clients regarding the purchase/serving of alcohol at a corporate function held on the premises they don't occupy? No. Am I saying that there's enough exposure/risk of a lawsuit and a possible positive argument relating to the aforementioned duty of care? Yeah. I'd say there's enough risk that the policy is worth it. Good call.
No more than 4 margaritas per person on dollar margarita and beer night. In college, some friends and I used to go to a Mexican restaurant every Thursday, and often on Saturdays for $1 margaritas. As a group, we would go through a lot, then they put the rule in, then they changed it to $2 margaritas, and $1 draft beers.
Still a good deal, ho.
Yeah, that's still a steal. Especially for poor college kids. We had a 24-hour pancake house near my college. They did all-you-can-eat pancakes from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. It was like $10. They consistently had large groups of college kids show up and down pancakes for a few hours a night. I remember the one time I went with a group of wrestlers and football players. They didn't ever change their policy, but man, it had to have been discussed every once in a while.
Honestly, probably still profitable. Pancakes are exceptionally cheap.
I got all the clocks removed from the psych ward. According to a friend who went back to that particular unit recently, they're still gone 3 years later.
Story time?
It's not a super interesting story, but sure. I'd been there for like 2 months and was bored out of my mind, so I started writing down anything that happened throughout the day, and noting the time. I had a little notebook filled with stuff like shift change 7 a.m., meds past 9:33, Debbie eats a tuna sandwich 2:56, just all the mundane little details that were going on around me. During a room check, one of the nurses found my notebook and assumed that I was recording times and dates of activities so I could make an escape, and time it for the exact second staff was distracted. Their solution was taking away the clocks, so I wouldn't be able to time their movements.
Debbie eats a tuna sandwich 2:56 may be my favorite line ever.
Dude, the nurses had the strangest eating habits. One of them would eat 3 hard-boiled eggs and a packet of mayonnaise for breakfast every day. She'd take a bite of egg, squirt the mayo into her mouth, and then take another bite of egg and chew them together into some bizarre, flavorless, depressed egg salad. It's been 3 years and I'm still not over it.
Aliens of Reddit, what is your thoughts on Earth so far? NSFW. I don't get your relationship to bread. Just smell a fresh baked bread. You will get it. And then staple it to a tree?
This is the way.
r/bread to potato trees.
Back. That. Pumpernickel. Up.
Wait. Can your species not telepathically communicate with yeast?
Try garlic bread. Maybe you will have a healthy and hearty relationship with it.
Pretty good, I guess. I think I'm getting the hang of it. Just got one question, I guess. Where does the McRib go and why does it keep coming back?
The answer to that question will be answered when you discover what McRib actually made of.
We are here to collect the McRib for our Gorapodon, so if you know where it goes we can harvest it and return to Zyklomodorn 256b. There are more of us here than you think.
What about the Altoid sours? It was one of the reasons we came here in the first place. And now? Gone.
It goes to Germany. It's available here all year. Here in Germany we have it all the time, so hop over.
It goes to schools and prisons.
Them hoes be crazy hot.
Earth girls are easy. Ignoring the technological differences, you humans are about as dumb as we are.
How come male genitals are just like they're integral part of ensuring the continuation of your species and they just kind of hang around, flapping in the breeze, with zero protection? Don't you dare say that's what the pubes are for. And to top it all off, it seems as if you spend a considerable amount of time, particularly in your youth, going out of your way to destroy and punish said genitals. Humans are effing weird, man.
Also, baby teeth. Unk.
Pretty odd y'all's unit to measure power is horses.
And they must be like the weakest horses imaginable. A lawnmower engine is as powerful as 5 of them.
Peak output from a horse is roughly 15 horsepower. Peak output from the average human is roughly 4 horsepower. The problem is that neither us nor horses can output that peak for more than a few minutes or seconds even. However, 1 horsepower is the most that the average horse can sustain for long periods of work, and not injure or overexhaust themselves.
Agreed.
I mean, mostly we use watts.
What?